Good morning, everybody. This is Robert Marshall, and I would like to welcome you all to the North Carolina Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services Agricultural Sciences Center. But right now what we're doing is we're actually standing in the main lobby of the admin portion of the building itself. You'll notice right behind me is a pretty cool reception desk, as well as one of the focal points of this lobby itself is this wall that has a wall covering that they utilize the tobacco leaf to actually imprint to be able to provide the actual format for the wall covering itself to go with the overall theme of an agricultural sciences center. We also have this primary wall, which is a feature wall, this of Decton tile. And it's pretty neat because when they did the overall design of the building itself, the way the building is laid out from the east to west, so that with all the natural lighting, you really have a nice view of as the sun rises and as the sun sets in the lobby itself.
A couple other things that are cool about this building. We have 225,000 square feet split up into admin space and lab space. You'll get to see a lot of that in this video. The building was funded by the Connect NC bonds, which was a $500 million bond that was voted on by North Carolinians in the 2016 election. And the building is going to be, we just found out, it's going to be renamed to the Steve Troxler Agricultural Sciences Center. Steve Troxler, of course, is our North Carolina Commissioner of Agriculture. So right now we're in the admin building. There's going to be over 200 people working in this building, and COVID-19 brought on a couple challenges that we had to come up with some solutions for. One of those that the design team came up with were these partitions between the cubicles to keep workers safe when they're at their desks. Another thing is the bipolar ionization system that was added to the air handling units to filter out COVID-19 pathogens from the air as it's recirculated. We got about 225,000 square feet of space in this building, and about 85,000 square feet of that is lab space. Right now, we're in the food and drug lab. So guys, let me tell you all a little bit about this lab. We got 10 different types of gases on this floor alone. We have an FRP exhaust system, which is an acid-specific exhaust system for boiling acid. We even have a deionized water system, which is for ultra pure water, and it's used for process. This is the BSL-3 suite, and this is the highest security area in the whole building. BSL stands for biosafety level, and then 3 is the level 3, and it goes up to 4. So this is where we're working with pathogens that are more dangerous. They don't have a cure to them. So you have to walk in the door, shower in the ante room. These doors are interlocked. Get your PPE on, bunny suit up, and you can go through this door right here. So the reason we have interlocked doors in an ante room is because we got to get this area locked down. This whole room is sealed at the ceiling and double sealed at the deck to contain dangerous pathogens in this room. The things that they're working with in here don't have a cure. So it's things like avian flu, swine flu, anthrax, chronic wasting disease, animal-borne pathogens. We have biosafety cabinets in here that have a higher level of containment so they can isolate what they're working on. This room is kept at constant negative pressure. All of the access panels are outside of the area of containment, and there's a lot that goes into access control, maintaining pressure of this room, maintaining access to the room, and making sure that we're keeping the people that work in here safe. So right now we're in the motor fuels laboratory, and the motor fuels lab, specifically the engine room, is one of the coolest rooms in the whole building. These two engines were built in 1940. When the scientists are done with the fuel, they dump it down a fume hood in the room right there. It feeds the fuel dispensing system, and they can reuse it in a gas pump outside for gas in NCDA trucks. So right now we're in the necropsy suite. A necropsy is basically just an autopsy but on an animal. And so what happens in here, if a farmer has an animal that dies, it could be a cow, a pig, a bird, and they want to treat it, or they want to treat the rest of their flock for whatever it died from, they bring it here. When they're done, they chop up the animal and they put it in the incinerator chute. We're getting ready to show you the incinerator and the effluent treatment system, how we deal with waste in this facility. So when the pathologists are doing a necropsy, you have two different types of waste. You have solid waste and liquid waste, and that's hazardous waste, so we have to deal with it somehow. The solid waste is thrown down a chute into this incinerator, and this incinerator is big enough to handle 4 cows and a horse at one time in a single burn. And it gets up to 1600 degrees Fahrenheit, burns everything down to just ash, which is a lot easier to deal with, and the ash can actually be taken straight to the dump. Now, the other form of waste treatment that we have here is this beast. We call it the Breaking Bad chamber. It's the effluent treatment system, and this is a thermochemical system. All the liquid waste from necropsy goes into this big chemical tank here. It's a 1,000-gallon storage tank. This is also fed by BSL-3. From the containment tank, it goes into these 2 cook tanks where the waste is treated at 25 psi pressure, a pH of 14 with potassium hydroxide, and temperatures of up to 200 degrees Celsius. So that melts everything down, neutralizes everything, and then you have to neutralize the solution with sulfuric acid. And that brings the pH back to a level 7, right around there, and then you can dispose of it in the sewer system. So right now we're in the metrology lab. Now when I first heard of metrology, I was thinking, what does the Department of Agriculture have to do with weather? But metrology is actually the study of weights and measurements. So that's what they do here. They have large volume, large mass, and small mass. And this is where North Carolina has all their calibrations done for commercial weights and measurements equipment. So that takes some special things into consideration. One other thing we have in this space is the small mass lab. Those balances are so sensitive, they measure to 7 decimal places of a gram.